On August 25th, 1587, John headed back to England for more supplies, and he left behind 115 settlers. It took him 3 years to come back.
Oh, wow.
When he arrived, the settlers had all vanished without a trace.
Lubbock, Texas, October 24th of this year marked 20 years since 45-year-old Tammy Cooper and her 3 young children were murdered in their home at the Windcrest Estacado Apartments in East Lubbock. The friend told police that while she and Tammy were on the phone, she heard banging on the family's door. Yours is probably bigger than mine, but okay, let's just rephrase that one. But anyways.
What's going on? What's going on, late night family? It's your favorite too. And we're back again with another exciting episode of Late Night Conversations with Uncle Nephew. I am your host, King J, also known as Nephew. And to my left is...
I got JR right here, known as Big Unc.
That's Big Unc. And I'm Big Nephew.
Big Nephew.
And we're here to bring y'all another exciting episode.
Dude, two stories, dog.
We got 2 stories today. So before we dig into today's story, man, just addressing the fans on something. If you're whatever platform y'all watching on, please follow. If you're on YouTube, please hit the follow button and hit the notification on the bell so you'll get notified every time we post a video. And without further ado, man, I think we should just jump into it.
Let's go.
Let's get it, man. So May 8th of 1587, you had 120 settlers that took off from England and landed on a little island right outside of North Carolina called Roanoke Island.
Right.
Like I said, now it's the north coast of North Carolina.
Okay.
The coast. So they arrived sometime in around July 1587. So the first official governor of the new colony was John White. And within that first month, man, they experienced a lot of attacks from the Native Americans that were there.
Right.
So within that first month, man, they started to run low on supplies.
Okay.
And these settlers, like I said, were from England. So, they brought what they thought they would need, just to scope out the area. Then they landed. They were under attack a lot, within that first month. So they started to run low on supplies, food, tools, stuff like that. So the community got together and decided to send John White back. And they were like, man, we need you to go get more supplies, man, because we're running low.
More food, more.
So, they go ahead and sent John back to England for more supplies, and they also wanted more people to help with the Native Americans, man, because there was, like I said, there was only 120 of them.
That's what I was going to say. So it was just a small community, and
it was just a small community.
So how long was this trip?
So they took off May 8th, 1587, and they got there July 1587. So it's
a couple of months.
Yeah, a couple of months. On August 25th, 1587, John headed back to England for more supplies, and he left behind 115 settlers.
Okay.
87 men, 17 women, and 11 children, including his own daughter, Eleanor White Dare.
Okay.
So she was actually his daughter, John White's daughter.
Right.
And she also had, he left his granddaughter behind, which, turns out, which is pretty cool. She was the first baby born in North America from English parents.
Okay.
Because they were the first, coming in from England.
So she was born here.
She was born on American land. Okay. So that was the first baby born of English parents in North America.
Okay. So she's the first one.
Yeah, so she was the first one. That's pretty cool. So, unfortunately, man, he went back to get the supplies. It took him 3 years to come back.
Oh, wow.
Because at that time, England and Spain were at the verge of war, man. And so when he landed back in England, they started going to war, and he couldn't leave. So 3 years, bro. He was stuck in England for 3 years.
So these 115 people were stuck there with hardly anything to survive on.
A little bit of supplies.
And a lot of Native Americans.
Attacked from Native Americans, right? Okay, so check this out, man. He came back August 1590. When he arrived, the settlers had all vanished without a trace, leaving behind everything, and there was no sign of human life anywhere. The only clues left behind were the words Croatoan that were carved into a fence post. And then the letters CRO were carved into a tree.
Croatoan. I always thought it was Croatian, but
no,
it's pronounced Croatoan.
Yeah, it's and that's something else.
Oh, that's something else?
That's something else. Yeah. Because now the where Croatoan is at is actually it's modern day. I have it right here. Watch.
Okay, go ahead.
So John White made 2 attempts to sail to the nearby Croatoan Island, which is now known as Hatteras Island.
Okay.
Now it's known as Hatteras Island. So it's about 50 miles away, but John reported that both trips failed and he had to turn back because of severe weather. And he couldn't try a third time, man, because the boat was privately owned. Up from,
From it wasn't his.
Yeah, and so he couldn't try a third time. So he ended up having to go back to England, and he moved to Ireland, where he passed away in 1593. And he never got to figure out what happened.
That's what I'm saying. So he never got a chance to really investigate what happened to these people.
And the problem,
to his people,
to his people. Yeah, the people he took over there. And here's the other thing, man. I want to expand a little bit more on when he got to the island. Man, there was nobody there. Like, I mean, whatever they had, the building structure
That's what I'm saying. When the settlers were there, whatever they had done while he was there, setting up camp or whatever.
Yeah,
all that was
the
gone.
little buildings they built, everything was it was there.
It was still there.
It was just empty.
It was just no people.
There was no people there. There wasn't no sign of bodies around because you got to remember,
no burials, no
mass grave, no nothing. There was not even no site that they left against force or whatever. And then
there wasn't like a fight. You could tell like there would have been arrows and
stuff was burned down to the ground or something like that. But nobody was just there.
That's what makes it pretty strange, showing up to a place where you left your people and you
can't find them. It's crazy.
And this is in the 1500s. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
There's nothing, technology.
There's no technology at all.
Just have to go off of what you can see.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So, till this day, man, nobody knows what happened to the colony, and there has never been any remains or even a sign of a mass grave.
So, let me stop there. Let me ask you a quick question.
Right.
So, the Native American, more or less, might know, as far as how they pass stories along to their people. Right. No one's ever said,
No one's ever said anything. Now, there has been something, and I'll bring it up here in a little bit.
See, that's where I'm going with, because I know there's got to be, to me, there's got to be some type of clue that, was missed.
And that's the thing, back then, that clue they left on the tree. And the fence post, Croatoan. I mean, you would think like if they were going to go somewhere, they were going to let him know. They know he's going to come back.
Right.
So maybe they went there.
Let me ask you this. What does Croatoan mean?
So it's actually one of the tribes that was where they called them the Croatoan people.
Okay.
The Croatoan tribe. It was a group of Native Americans that lived on that, which is now Hatteras Island. That's where that tribe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me retract. Hatteras Island is where they landed, or is where he was trying to go?
That's where a Native American tribe was there. So they landed on Roanoke Island, which is 50 miles away.
Okay. So that's what I'm trying to...
But there was people that were from that Hatteras Island place that were Croatoan tribe.
Right.
And I'll tell you why they know each other. Okay. I'll tell you why there's a reason how there's a connection between the two tribes. Okay. The Roanoke and Croatoan, and I'll tell you. So, till this day, nobody knows what happened, man. And historians and web sleuths alike have debated for years on what happened, but nothing has been proven. Here are some theories to throw at you, man, that I did some research on.
Okay.
So, the first theory, which is, a pretty big theory that a lot of people accept.
Yeah.
They think that the colony was killed off by the local Native American tribes.
Right.
There was a previous attempt to colonize Roanoke, This wasn't the first time.
Oh, okay. So they weren't the first settlers.
They weren't the first settlers. There was an attempt, sometime between 1585 and 1586. They came to Roanoke, and at that time it was a different group of settlers.
Right.
And when they landed, they were coming under a constant attack from the Native Americans, and they started running low on food,
right,
and stuff like that. So they decided to come back, man. And here was another problem.
Not take that chance.
And here's a bigger problem. So the governor at the time of that settlement, John White went with him too, but he wasn't the leader this time.
Okay.
The first time it was a guy. His name was Ralph Lane. He actually killed one of the leaders of the local tribe.
Oh, yeah.
That was there.
Which don't sit well with those people, yeah.
Exactly. He actually killed one of them, and he did that to try to prevent future attacks. Maybe that would stop him, and it didn't.
Well, of course.
So they decided to come back.
And John White went back with them.
Yes.
And then later on, he decided to come back. Okay.
Yes. And so, check this out, huh? Here's another theory. The other theory is the colonists joined a local tribe and maybe integrated with them. This is why they think this. So there was a Native American from the Croatoan tribe called Monteo. He would frequently visit England on his boat. He would travel back and forth from England to Croatoan.
But he was Native American. Okay?
Yeah. So he would travel back and forth, and he frequented back and forth. On one trip he actually sailed back with John to Roanoke when they were going. And John told him that he was going to make him the leader of the Roanoke tribes and the Croatan tribes. How are you going to make him the leader?
I mean, you're
a colonist.
You're an Englishman. These guys are Native American.
This is their land. How you going?
Yeah, you ain't nobody's boss. Yeah.
But as you can see,
you can influence a Native American. Especially if you don't know, and you're giving him. I don't want to say mass weapons, but
yeah, and I mean, you just gotta. It's just crazy. It's a crazy thought that he's like, oh yeah, you're gonna be the leader of this and this. Well, who are you?
Exactly.
This ain't your land.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so he told him he was gonna be the leader, but of course he's from the Croatoan tribe, and he couldn't control the Roanoke Native Americans.
Right.
He couldn't tell them what to do, so he went back to Croatoan, and so maybe at some point he went back to the settlers. At Roanoke,
right,
and told them to join the tribe because he was friendly with them.
Yeah.
So maybe he told his tribe like, "Hey man, there's some settlers out here in Roanoke Island. They've been running low on supplies for 3 years. Maybe they said, hey, come with us. We'll help y'all out. Well, whatever.
Right.
So that's what they're thinking. And check this out, huh?
I mean, that's a good theory because. You got to do something, to protect your...
Right, to survive, man.
Yeah.
And check this out, huh? As a matter of fact, in 1888, 54 Croatan Native Americans petitioned Congress for aid, and they were saying that they belonged to a remnant of John White's colony, the Lost Colony. 54 members of the Croatan Native Americans
and
actually...
This is 1888. How many years is that?
From 1850, 1586, 1587,
right,
to 1888.
That's 300 years.
And they were petitioning for aid in 1888, saying that they were remnants of John's lost colony.
Right.
Why that long? And there goes earlier, like you said. Do you think there's stories passed down from generation to generation?
That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense, right?
To me, that does. It makes a whole lot more sense than them just disappearing completely.
Right.
Right. Mass suicide, I mean, I can understand, but you'd find bones and, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of makes sense, nephew.
Right? Doesn't it make sense? And dude, to add more fuel to the fire, man, in 2015, archaeologists found some artifacts that were of European origin on the Hatteras Island, where the Croatoan tribe resided. They found European artifacts.
Right.
Like they found a couple, I think busted jars that were from England, material from England. And they said they found aglets, which were these poles, these copper tubes
right,
that were used to hold in wool fibers.
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Right.
But those were things that England was using, and they found those on
that
Hatteras Island, which was where the Croatoans were.
So now it's coming out more.
It just seems like more and more. It sounds like they went over there, right?
That's what I would think.
That's what I'm thinking. So, I mean, it could be a good theory because of, and look at the word that was carved onto the fence post in the tree, Croatoan. So it only makes sense. But here comes another thing to shake some stuff up. Here's another good theory. The settlers may have moved further into America.
You think further from North Carolina?
More inward to the United States.
Yeah,
more into the United States. And here's some banter on that, man. So, John White was a map maker. He was a cartographer, or
you got me, nephew.
He sells and he makes maps.
Right.
He maps
as he explores.
Yes, he was a map maker, and he made a detailed map of the North Carolina coast. Matter of fact, bro, historians to this day are saying that this is one of the most accurate maps in the 16th century of how he mapped everything out. I mean, he got everything spot
just
on.
in North Carolina.
Like pretty much that whole
East Coast.
Yeah, just that coast right there
of
where North Carolina resides at, and it's crazy, man, because I mean he's got little islands that go around here, and you got to think, dog. How are you mapping it here when you can't see it from up there, top?
Yeah, right,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of exploring. That's a lot of time in the water.
Dude, that's crazy, right? That's fire to me, bro. Because like us, you can go to Google Maps.
Yeah, and you can see everything. You can make a map
from
out of
satellites. But dude, this is 1587.
They had to travel in order.
And they're mapping what they see, and it's
so accurate.
It's accurate. That's what's so crazy, man. So, the map he made was thought to be a masterpiece, but upon further inspection, the map held some secrets. You ever seen the movie National Treasure?
Yeah.
You ever see Nicolas Cage where they take the Declaration of Independence and then they turn it around and then on the back it has some hidden meanings. Okay, check this out. This is what's crazy. So in 2012, the First Colony Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization, requested that the British Museum re-examine the map because of patches that were on the map. Now, using patches were common when making mistakes because, when you're making maps, you might mess up.
Yeah.
And it was more of a hassle to try to, you can't erase stuff back then. Like, you know what I mean? So you just put a patch on top and then redraw over it.
Yeah.
So when they were used X-ray technology and some other technology, these laser beam type deals, man, it was the video I watched.
So they're trying to read underneath the
they're seeing behind it, underneath it,
to see what he had,
what he maybe mistaken out. Yeah. So check this out, huh? Using X-ray technology and other technology tests, they found that the patch was covering a 4-pointed star on the map, outlined in blue, colored in with red. The museum concluded that they're not experts, but it seems certain that it was a representation of a fort on the map, like some type of fort.
Like an American...
Like maybe they were making a fort or, like some type of fortification. Yeah. Like maybe something built around that area.
Right.
To keep things out
or whatever,
for protection.
Animals, yeah.
And the fact that it was colored in red and blue meant that it meant something. That wasn't a mistake.
Right.
Could it have been?
Right.
I mean, right? So check this out. They speculate maybe he tried to hide where the colonists moved to from the England court. They were saying, and check this out, huh? In that spot where the excavations were dug, in that spot where the star was at, they went there and did some excavations, and European artifacts turned up there. So
they were held up there, possibly not held up, but maybe they set camp there, like you said.
Maybe he went back and maybe they moved. I don't know if they moved somewhere, or maybe he just wanted to hide where they moved to. Maybe they didn't even go to Roanoke. Maybe they went somewhere else and he lied. He's trying to hide it from England.
See, now you got my mind going because I'm like, why would you try to hide these people? What could they have possibly done?
I don't know. Or maybe they were just trying to escape from England, just trying to get away from the country. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe, what were they doing that they left, and now they're trying to hide their existence?
Going back to the 1888, where are those descendants now?
I don't know. I don't know, and I would love to know.
Yeah, you know,
I want to know.
Well, you say you're descended from John White. Okay, where did that tree go?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Where's it at now?
Oh, shoot, man. It's been since 15...
Yeah, I know. 1800s,
could you imagine by now that place has to be completely...
Well, it's totally different now, I know. Yeah. But I'm saying the ancestors, you know.
Right. Like,
you know, your great grandchildren, you know, where they at now. I mean, 1800s, 1888 is not that extremely far. Right. You know, to 2000. Right. You know, you're looking at 1888 to 1900. That's 12 years to the 1900s.
Right.
So we're looking, you know, not
far.
Not
right? That kind of
far.
So
we got maybe 3 generations, 4 generations.
Man, dude, I don't know. That is true. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, somebody has to say something about maybe, you know, because what if there's a tribe that through ancestors they were like, oh yeah, we know what happened to those people. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was thinking. Like, if a tribe got rid of them.
See, because that was one thing, yeah. Because they were saying that maybe the tribe went in there and killed
all of them,
but they may have kept some women,
but then again,
and the children,
right? And cannibalism. I don't know. I mean,
so check. Oh, that's crazy. So check this out, man. So another theory. Could this be? And this is
this is crazy. You got to think. You know.
Could this be evidence of a mass abduction of aliens?
See, now I was doing cannibalism, dog. I was thinking these Native Americans might have eaten them all up, dog. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to say alien abduction in the 1500s? Not far-fetched, but kind of unlikely, I would think.
You think so?
That's me. And you know, I'll dig deep into that too.
The reason why this is even a theory is because some people believe that maybe that star on the map was a representation of a craft that they saw, and that was a landing spot for them was Roanoke,
and they left all their belongings and just took
they just took the people, maybe put them somewhere else or
moved them back to England. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know, man.
I can't say no. I can't say no.
I mean, nobody can say for certain because to this day, nobody still knows what happened. There's not a definite answer, and we'll never know because the people from that time don't exist no more. And I mean, generations
that's
after generations, I'm sure the history has been lost.
So the Croatian tribe, Croatoan. I keep saying Croatian, but Croatoan tribe evolved in North Carolina as the United States grew. Were they known as the Croatoan tribe, or were they changed names? Let's say, you know, Apache. I don't know. And I wonder if they have, you know, grandfather's stories that.
I feel like after this long, man, it's got to be lost. I mean, it's got to be. I know. We say.
Well, I mean, the American Indian,
in the grand scheme of things, it isn't that long ago. But for I don't know, for stories to exist,
for the 1500, that's quite a bit.
It's quite a bit.
But the 1800 is kind of closer,
like 1880,
man.
1888.
1888. You know, you got 12 years, and you're already at 1900.
Yeah, that's facts.
The United States is already booming. You know.
So it's like, I think at this point, any remnants of story might have been lost.
We got our declaration, so.
Yeah. I just feel like maybe at this point, it's been lost in time.
I don't think it's lost, dude. I think somebody knows, a tribe knows. And while they're hiding it, could it be because it was?
I don't know, man.
UFO, that they saw something and they want to keep that secret.
It's crazy, dog. The whole alien thing is crazy to me because I know we can say that, but man, there's hieroglyphics that show UFO-looking saucers.
And we were talking about that the last time, like in the pyramids and the tombs. How did they have light? in order to get all the stuff on the walls, the drawings and stuff.
Right.
Some of these drawings are beautiful artifacts.
A lot of them, they say use fire. Like they used fire back then.
Can you really see that good in fire, bro?
I don't know. It just depends on how much they.
Like we know that it was used as energy.
So that's what I feel like, man. The more I
had to be bulbs, there had to be light for them to be able to draw on these walls. They're thousands of years old.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of paint did they use that don't rub off on rock?
It lasted on rock, dude. That's crazy. It's just like Eddie Griffin, man. The comedian. Eddie Griffin. He has a pretty cool theory about that, man. He said something about. We gotta go back and look at it, man. I'll show it to you. But he was talking about how the pyramids. He's like, the pyramids really aren't a pyramid; they're a diamond. They're built in the same specs up top and on the bottom.
Yeah.
And he said the bottom is topped off with quartz, and the peak of the pyramid is topped off by quartz.
Copper.
He said quartz because it used to be it was topped off with gold.
Was it gold?
It was gold.
Okay.
The whole the pyramids were encased in limestone.
Right.
And the very top was capped off with a cap of gold. But he was saying at the very point it was topped off with quartz, so that when the moonlight hit it, it would reflect light down to the bottom and reflect light back up to the top.
So it'd be all
the first refracting laser.
Yeah.
And it would illuminate the night sky. Which is why they say Pharaoh could turn night into day. But, that's another theory.
And that's a lot of some of the theories, man. I mean...
Dude, but I love the pyramids, man, because, I believe they were used as generators. That's what I feel like. I feel like they were a power plant ran by water and stuff. Like
I said, looking at all the carvings and drawings, you see it. It's a light bulb. You see it.
How do these people...
It's a spaceship. You see it.
How do these people... so long ago with no technology knew so much about the constellations and the stars and
exactly.
You know what I mean? But man, that's not we're kind of on another
tangent. But we're going back to
but just to wrap this up, man, I don't know. Could it be aliens? You never know. But there's another theory.
One more?
There's one more. And maybe it was cannibalism. Either the Native Americans killed them and ate them, maybe resorted to cannibalism,
right.
Or the settlers themselves.
Oh, they themselves turned to cannibalism.
They were already running low on supplies. They didn't have much food. Maybe the Native Americans aren't sharing with them what they got.
They probably didn't know how to grow crop at the time, or if they did, they didn't have the tools like you said.
Maybe they weren't in a good area. Whatever.
Didn't have. Yeah.
What if they kind of resorted to cannibalism, man?
Yeah.
But then again, it just doesn't make sense because there's never been any bones found. There's never been any type of... there's no mass graves found. The Native Americans took death pretty seriously, man. Right. You know what I mean? And
but
burial grounds...
You're looking at the 1500s, so if it was cannibalism, they used your bones for...
Maybe they grinded them up and used them for something. Or yeah. Maybe they used them for weapons.
Used them for weapons,
Yeah, maybe that could be. But it's fascinating, man, because it's just crazy that this man left his... he left 107, 15 people.
What was he going to do? Say, let's go back and then we'll come back. Which I think that's what I probably would have done myself. I would have been like, hey, you know what? Right now we're struggling.
So let's just all
head back.
And that is crazy.
Let's try it again.
Why did he leave them? If it already happened once and they took the people.
Right.
Why did he leave?
Why did he take that chance? Yeah.
Yeah, because, and here's the other thing, dog. Check this out. This is what I was just thinking about, man. You know how crazy that is to be like, damn, man, we need more supplies. I'm going to have to go get some.
That's 2,000. That's 2 months away.
It's a 2-month journey.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, you be at the house and be like, damn, I left something at the house. I got to go back. These people, man, if you left something.
If you left your wife for 2 years, for 3 years, you think she'd be here waiting on you?
Dog, that's
she had no. She hadn't heard from you?
Oh, my wife?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She'll wait for me.
Oh, no, but you know what I'm saying?
But that is crazy. That's a wild...
He left his daughter and granddaughter.
You realize how long 3 years is, bro? That's a long time, bro.
I know. I'm fixing to hit 60, dog, in about 3 years.
You done did 60 rotations on this earth, boy. Damn. Around the sun.
I know what 3 years is, dog, so...
So it's just, that's so interesting to me, man, that these people, to this day, It's puzzled archaeologists. It's puzzled science. I mean,
Right.
people who have studied this case. I mean, this is one of the biggest missing persons case in the
I'd like to
world.
bring this up to CSI or something though. See what they can. See what they come up.
Well, dude, I mean,
they can find out in 60 minutes.
The History Channel. Hey, yeah, for real. The 48 hours.
48. Oh yeah.
The first 48 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Criminal Minds. Whatever.
Yeah, for real, man. I mean, that'd be interesting to know, man. That's a piece of history that has puzzled. Yeah, that's puzzled. I mean, it's puzzled people for years.
It's almost as intriguing as Who Killed Kennedy.
Oh, we already know. And it's crazy, man. But yeah. So to this day, nothing. There's never been anything found.
It's insane how
it's crazy how we can go this long without finding out what happened to these people.
Just something like that, yeah. But John White should have took his people with him, I think.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't know the whole story, so I didn't know he had left him.
Yeah, he had left. He left him there to go get more supplies, and like I said, he was gone for 3 years, man. I mean, and he gets back, and I mean, they're just. I mean, it's gone without a trace.
Of course, without a trace.
Yeah, and then I mean that's the crazy thing. This is the kind of things that keep me up at night. You know, you be laying in bed right before bed, and dude, all day I'm chilling, and then I go lay down, and it's time to lay down. I pull the covers up, and then
something pops in your head. And
I wonder what happened to the Roanoke tribe,
man.
You know,
we're going to have to research,
stuff like that. You know what I
mean? And I do the same thing, and I'm like, especially like on days off, that on Saturdays, man, my mind is just, I'm going through stuff on my Facebook, on my phone, researching, trying to find something interesting for the people, right? And it's not as easy as, I mean, you can always just pick out a story and say, but you're trying to find something that is so, like, I want to keep you on your toes, you know?
Yeah, for sure. You always want to have a story that's going to keep the attention of somebody.
Oh, most definitely,
You know, especially in the podcast business. Like, you know, I pride myself on doing things that...
The quality of work that we have so far.
I pride myself on doing it to the best of my ability.
Right.
And that's why I look for the stories that people could be like, man, I wonder what happened to the Roanoke people, man. Like, you know, or like, even down to the first episode we did when I did the disappearance of Riker Webb.
Riker Webb, right.
Like, it wasn't a bad ending to it, but it's just like...
What really happened?
What happened to that kid, you know?
I mean...
And it's those things that keep you up at night.
Yeah, you're gonna get those people, you know... Oh, that wasn't pictures. Those two different boys, you know.
Oh, you're always gonna have skeptics. You know what I mean? But
to me, that boy was frightened. That boy was. Yeah, something happened to him bad. Dude. I mean.
But yeah, man. So this was man. This is a good little story, man. I think we're at a good point. I'm gonna take a break, man. I'm gonna take a quick break.
I'm gonna set up and get ready for my little story.
And then we're gonna get ready for your story, I appreciate you hanging tight with me through this missing colony of Roanoke.
Right.
And we're gonna take a quick potty break.
Yep.
And then we'll be right back.
Right back.
All right, back, baby. So, man, what did you got for me today, Unc?
Let me bring this up real quick.
Said you got unsolved murder case.
Unsolved murder of the Cooper family from Lubbock, Texas. This comes strictly off of everythinglubbock.com. I'm not sure if it came out on the Lubbock Avalanche Journal or not, to be honest, okay? But I'm going to read strictly from there. It says, 20 years later, who killed the Cooper family? Okay, Lubbock, Texas, October 24th of this year marked 20 years since 45-year-old Tammy Cooper and her 3 young children, Jasmine, who's 11, Cadiz, and Kashim, both are 9 years old, were murdered in their home at the Windcrest Estacado Apartments in East Lubbock.
Oh, wow. And when was this?
This was October 24th of 2004.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been 20 years. It says, it's just unspeakable, said Matt Powell, former Lubbock District Attorney, who at the time was assigned to the case as a prosecutor.
Right, right.
So on the morning of October 25th, the family was found in their home at 512 North MLK by a family friend who had gone to pick up the children for school. I've seen bad crime scenes, but I had never seen anything like this before, said Ray Martinez, a former Lubbock Police Department homicide detective who was also assigned to the case. It was like walking through a nightmare, is what he said.
Oh, wow.
Man, that's it. It
I could imagine it'd have been like a lot of bloodshed or like a movie scene.
Pretty gruesome, man.
Like a gruesome scene.
Yeah. Authorities said the family was all brutally beaten and stabbed the night before. Powell said it appeared that Tammy tried unsuccessfully to fight off the attacker.
Oh, man.
You could tell that a significant struggle had taken place, said Powell. There was a lot of things that had been disrupted within the kitchen area, within the living room area, and some other areas of the house. So she fought.
Yeah, that must have been blood.
Yeah, she fought pretty hard, man. She, as a matter of fact, what it says, she fought very valiantly for her life and for her kids' lives. One of the bad things about this kind of business is that you cannot unsee those things. Martinez said, you're gonna live with them. Man, can you imagine?
Dude.
Yeah, and I don't know Martinez. To be honest, he's not related to us, but he's related to one of our family members.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from Lubbock. Martinez says detectives immediately canvassed the entire apartment complex, interviewed many neighbors to find out if they had seen or heard anything from the night before. From the investigation, we kind of figured she kept to herself a lot, said Martinez. She didn't have a big social network in Lubbock. Martinez says 6 months prior, Tammy had moved the family from Dallas to Lubbock. Wow. Yeah. But it is unclear why she did so. Shortly after the murders, Tammy's family said that she mostly grew up in South Dallas area, but had spent time in Lubbock at some point in her life. So she knew Lubbock.
Yeah.
But why she left Dallas to come over here, they don't know why. In 2004, KLBK interviewed Tammy's brother, Wayne Cooper, who said there was nothing he wouldn't do for Tammy or her kids. Somebody had to act a fool and become a selfish and self-centered individual and do something to 3 children and a mother just because of jealousy, rejection, or whatever, said Cooper, right? The biggest lead that Texas had at the time was a phone conversation that I had talked about earlier. She had a phone conversation Tammy had with a friend on the night of October 24th, which was the same night they were murdered. The friend told police that while she and Tammy were on the phone, she heard banging on the family's door. Martinez said that based upon what she heard, the friend believed that one of Tammy's children opened the door and let the man in. She had asked Tammy Cooper who it was, and in the conversation, Tammy told her, "You don't know him. He's not from here. He's a black man, and his name is Butch," said Martinez. Martinez said the friend told the detective that Tammy never expressed any fear or concern while she was on the phone. That's kind of strange, right? I mean, but
especially if somebody just banging on the door.
But let me tell you what else, I would think that if she would have been concerned or feared for her safety or her safety of her kids, she would have told her friend to call the police, right?
Right.
That's what Martinez had said. Her friend said she never said anything like that. So she apparently didn't feel threatened at the time.
So she must have knew the person.
Well, that's what she said,
Yeah, she had to have known the person.
She knew him by name. But
all
she said was Butch. If she would have said Butch,
whatever,
yeah, it would have been different. Powell says he believes without a doubt that Butch murdered the family. There's no proof, but without a doubt, right? I mean, it's rare that you went into a crime scene and knew what the murderer's name was, said Powell. Tammy's friend also told detectives that she heard Tammy ask Butch while she's on the phone, "How did you find me?" So was she running from this man from Dallas?
Wow.
But that's what was said. "How did you find me?" While some believe this statement from Tammy implies that Butch was from the Dallas area,
right,
Martinez hasn't ruled out that Butch could have been from Lubbock. It could mean that he's not from that side of town, or that he's from the west side or the south side of Lubbock, Martinez said. When asked about DNA evidence, that was recovered from the scene. Both Powell and Martinez said the numerous amounts of evidence has been tested over the years, but nothing has pointed police to a specific suspect.
Wow.
So I mean, 2004 there was already technology. 2024 right now, there's a lot more technology.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, man.
Yeah. The investigation. Okay, hold on. Ever since 2004, the capabilities of DNA have just progressed significantly. What we just said.
Right.
Said Powell. So there's always hope you can retest something and find something. The investigation into the Cooper family murders and the search for Butch has stretched from California to Houston.
Wow.
But 20 years later, whoever killed them still remains a mystery. I appreciate you guys bringing it to the forefront again because it gets a new set of eyes and a new set of ears, said Powell. Both Powell and Martinez say they are hopeful that the case will be solved, especially if the Lubbock Police Department gets the right tip. Whoever did is going to get their justice, said Powell. I just want him to get some earthly justice before he gets godly justice.
Yeah.
And that's what Powell was saying.
Right.
So I decided to get this story out because even though this just came out last month, here in Lubbock,
yeah,
I feel that this family deserves justice, man. I mean, it was gruesome, it was brutal, and maybe somebody out there who knew her 20 years ago may know who this Butch guy is.
Yeah. Somehow knowing because of maybe being in their inner circle or something, they know a set of people.
Well, it said she didn't have a lot of friends, so I mean,
but maybe she had a little bit.
Somebody,
because I'm the same way, man. I don't got a lot of friends, man, but I do have some people that, like at work. I mean, with
if something
friends.
happens to you,
but
some people are gonna know. Some
like
of your
associates, I tell them, what hey, I may talk to an associate at work and tell them, yeah, man, this happened, or whatever. I mean, what I'm saying?
It's not a laughing matter, but you and I can go to Walmart for one item, and we're in there for hours.
For 2 hours, yeah, for real.
Because we talk and we see people and we just talk, man. I mean.
We've always been real big people persons. Yeah, man.
Even if
so we may
something
not
happened to you and I'm sure somebody would be like, hey, so and so, he used to talk to so and so, whatever.
Yeah, I used to see him.
I know a Butch, or I know,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like one person could know both of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And be like, yeah, I do know that she knew this guy or whoever.
And that's what their hope. That's what their hope.
That's what the hope is.
Yeah,
maybe a connection can be made
somehow. Even from Dallas. And this is a statement from the Lubbock Police Department on the 20th anniversary of this heinous crime that took the lives of Tammy Cooper and her 3 children. It says here, Mahogany, Kashim, and Cadiz, the Lubbock Police Department continues to ask the public for any information to help to solve this case. Anyone with information regarding this case should call Crime Line at 806-741-1000. Cases such as this are never closed in the Lubbock Police Department. We're hopeful that someone will come forward with any bit of information that could give the family closure and justice. So that was a little bit on the story that came out. I was looking. There's another story here that came up. This is the daughter of Tammy Cooper opens up after 20 years. She had an older daughter that lived in California. I believe that's what it says. Well, Trina Cooper, the second oldest daughter of Tammy Cooper, says she and her sister Latrivia are still wanting answers. This is 20 years. I mean, I don't know how old she was at the time. They don't say. We're suffering and we just need help, said Cooper. We just want to solve this and want it to be over. Cooper's mother, Tammy, her half-sister Jasmine, and her half-twin brothers Cadiz and Kashim were brutally murdered inside the East Lubbock apartment at 512 North MLK on October 24, 2004. The family was found the next morning by a family friend. This is what we're still going for. They went to go. They found them when they went to go pick up the kids and take them to school. She said, "My little brothers, one was going blind and the other one suffered from cerebral palsy."
Oh wow!
What kind of animal could do that to kids that are already are challenged?
Yeah,
man. I mean,
physically, mentally,
one was
whatever
going blind. How
Yeah, physical impairment.
And then cerebral palsy, he's sitting in the chair.
Man, dude, that's crazy.
For him to be brutally,
stabbed and man, come on, man. Stabbing is more personal, man. That's up close.
Yeah.
That's
personal. Yeah,
that's personal, man. Yeah. That's up close.
And this is what it was said. They said they were in there tortured after the mother, and she had to be murdered first, apparently, because she fought so hard, and then for them to go after the kids, after
that's
that.
Crazy, man.
Says Cooper, who spent most of her childhood in California, said her and her mother didn't have the greatest relationship, but that the relationship had gotten better over time. It's devastating because it took me so long to get to her, to be able to get to a good space and to know her, said Cooper. Cooper said that the contrary to belief, her mother was not new to Lubbock when she moved to the family from Dallas 6 months prior to the murders. She lived there when she was younger, off and on, said Cooper. The year prior to this happening, she was there in Lubbock with her. Cooper said in 2004, she and her mother had made plans to have her young son live with Tammy while Cooper finished school. But 2 weeks prior, before the murders, Cooper said her mother changed her mind about the agreement for no apparent reason. So to me, maybe she was already having some issues, maybe this guy was stalking her.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
Maybe she never even, she didn't call the police, if she was being stalked or harassed at any time.
That's a big thing, man, because to me it's like you said, if she's on the phone and she's not in a state of panic, and then she's like, oh, that's just Butch or whatever.
Right.
She knew this person very well.
Yeah, to call him by his nickname.
To call him by his nickname or his name, whatever.
Or what he went by,
And to not be like, no, don't call the cops. Like, for her to get the authorities involved, she must have felt like she could handle it because she must have knew this individual very
especially
well.
But what gets me is, how did you find me?
That right there is a big thing. I
think if I'm on the phone with you and you say, how did you find me? Like that, I probably would have said, hey, click on you and call 911 and say, hey, you need to go check my nephew out. I don't know what's going on.
This sounds like, of course, this is not a...
Right, well, it's a POV. It's our own point of view.
This is a POV. But that sounds like maybe she was running away from an abusive boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah, maybe she was getting abused somewhere in Dallas and in a rush moved to Lubbock.
Yeah.
And he found her.
6 months prior,
Yeah, because there's a movie on that. There's a movie on that, man. Not on her story, but there's a movie like that where she faked her death.
Oh, yeah.
And what's his name is in there? The dude from All American. The dad. I can't remember his name.
I know what movie you're talking about.
But she starts a whole nother life somewhere.
He shows up, dog.
Yeah, he shows up and tries to kill her.
She's already living at the beach, right? She got a beach house?
They were living in a big old mansion. And he was rich, and then she moved. And she faked her own death at the hospital because she got into a car crash.
Right.
And she left it. Yeah, dude, it's a story like that.
And it happens so often that we hear about it as a story, not realizing that they get
stuff like this happens.
They get that from stuff like this.
Stuff that really happens, man.
Like she had said, she gave no apparent reason why she wouldn't let her daughter's son stay with her. She's like, I can't have you come down here, and I'm like, why not? She said, and she never gave me a reason, said Cooper. She said, I'm not saying that I won't be able to do it ever, but I can't do it. The biggest lead detective had while investigating the murder was a phone conversation with Tammy, banging on the door, saying, and told her the phone it was a black man named Butch who entered the home. I've never heard of Butch, said Cooper. My mother knew so many people, and there's not a place that we couldn't go where she didn't know someone. So she was socially active out there.
Yeah, like she was probably just a real friendly person.
Right.
And she knew people, like the example we gave earlier. We may not be friends with a lot of people, but we know a lot of people. Yeah,
and that's me too. Yeah. When asked who she thinks might have murdered the family, Cooper is confident that it is someone who knew her siblings personally.
Man, man.
And I think it goes into the dad, because let me see if it's on this one.
I was gonna say, what about the dad, man?
My mom was a little spitfire, and I just imagine she crossed the wrong person, said Cooper. Cooper lives in California where she has raised her 3 children. They have been robbed of being around Tammy and just getting to know her.
Yeah, for sure.
As relatives, as it relates to the ongoing investigation, Cooper hopes the unsolved case remains top priority for local police. It's just kind of I've just kind of had hope that they would be able to do this and solve it on their own, said Cooper. I know they've been working on it, but I know that they can do more. And then this was 5 days ago when it came out. It says 5 days ago. The following statement is from the Lubbock Police Department. At this time, there are no new updates on the case. LPD continues to ask for public information regarding this case. Anyone has information, call the crime line 806-741-1000. I had another one about the brother had been talking, and I'm not sure where. Let me see. I'm not sure what happened to that. It was talking about the brother. I can't find it, man. But she was saying that apparently the dad of the children knew that they weren't his. And I'm not even going to go into it, nephew. I can't, because I don't want to get it wrong, and I don't want backlash coming to me because I could be wrong. I'm not sure what it had said. It was the brother,
like a news article or something.
Yeah, there was an article on the brother. He had spoke up, and I just wanted to put the story out there. People, if y'all knew the Cooper family back in 2004, if y'all lived in Lubbock or in the Dallas area, and you know who this Butch guy is, man. Even if it's 20 years later, right now, and God can place it in your heart to say, you know what, I do know this guy. I'm pretty sure, it's confidential.
Yeah.
It's like the detective said, he's going to get godly justice. We know that.
Yeah.
But we want earthly justice for this man. I mean,
yeah, facts.
Pay the price for what you did, for these murders of these children and this.
Because either one day you got to answer for it regardless. You know what I mean?
45 years old. She still had a lot of life left in her, man. And
yeah, that's sad, man.
Maybe when she left Dallas, she was thinking Lubbock is a place to be, and then for him to come back and find her, apparently he found her because that's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said on the phone.
So, but yeah, 741-1000 is the crime line there in Lubbock. Please, if you know something, hear something. Even if you have we all have family members, inmates and stuff, and inmates talk. I listened to Ashley Flowers' The Deck, which is a spinoff off of Crime Junkie, where they print murders, unsolved murders on deck of cards, and they send them to the prisons. It's called The Deck because a lot of prisoners, they start reading, playing the decks, and they start reading the cards, and then
they're like, I talked to the person.
I talked to this dude who killed these people,
and it lines up.
Yeah,
that's pretty smart, man.
Yeah, let's call The Deck, man. So shout out to Crime Junkie, Ashley Flowers. I'm really, really happy for you that what you're doing, in your podcast, and but yeah, dude. I mean, if y'all know anything, please.
Yeah, say something. Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
But that's what I had this week, nephew.
That was good, man.
It was just something out, as a matter of fact, your cousin, little Mike, my mother nephew, he sent that to me. He's like,
shout out Quiddies.
There's something, there's something maybe you can look into, and I did. I mean,
that's pretty good, man.
There's plenty of videos. If you go on just look up the Cooper family murder in Lubbock. There's quite a bit. There's videos on there, and search for yourself. Maybe God will put in your heart. Hey, you know what? I do know Butch.
Yeah. Maybe you can bring closure to a family that's been desperately needing it for 20 plus years.
Yep.
Yeah. So man, that was awesome, man. That's good. It's good to bring awareness, man, because like you said, all in all, there's a lot of crimes that haven't been solved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of even my story.
Yeah.
It's never been solved.
Never been solved.
You know, we're out here looking for the answers.
And that's what we're doing.
You know what I
mean? Sensational.
We do this regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
We sit at the kitchen table wherever we're at, and
so even if we didn't have this podcast, we'd be doing this anyways.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean.
But like I said, we appreciate everything that y'all done for us, all the feedback that we get from y'all.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank y'all so much for all y'all's comments.
Man.
Y'all's we've had a boost in followers this week, which is pretty cool to see.
Awesome.
We got some more countries involved in our Spotify profile. Russia and Serbia.
Yeah.
The United Kingdom.
UK.
I said that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool that people out here
shout out to the UK, Russia, Serbia. Hey.
All them countries that are listening to us from Little Plainview, Texas.
They got their own stuff going on in those, like right now, Russia's in a war, and hopefully that this war stops quickly, man. And but we appreciate y'all listening, taking time,
because this is something that's so big about, like, me and you, that when we first started, we were like, man, I don't know how well received it's gonna be.
Right,
you know what I mean? And y'all are really
so
busting expectations, love, And so thank y'all, man. We really appreciate it, man.
I listened to this other podcast, man, and when they close out, they like whisper, "Do we really talk about aliens?" But it's enjoyable to me. They're awesome. They're awesome. I listen to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do y'all think it was aliens? Do y'all think it was cannibalism?
I don't know, man.
Or did they just
integrate
with the Native Americans and said, hey, if you let us in your tribe, we'll show you what we know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so much out there that we don't know.
There is, man.
And being today's Tuesday, shout out to all the veterans. We lost an uncle in Vietnam, so I've got a cousin passed away. He was in the service. Shout out to my cousin Ben, my tío Joe.
Shout out to all y'all veterans out there who
thank y'all for what y'all do.
Who fight the fight to keep us not only safe but also our freedom.
Our freedom and our freedom to do what we're doing now.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the veterans, without the military doing what they do, we wouldn't be doing this.
Facts, man. That's big facts. So,
Thanksgiving's coming up, and we do got something special planned, I hope.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fire, man.
Yours is probably bigger than mine, but
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Okay, let's just rephrase that one. But anyways. No, but much love. Unc loves you, nephew loves you. I appreciate
thank y'all so much, and thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Late Night Conversations. Man, until next week.
Peace.
We out.